Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
What's up, Niner fans? My name is JT Magnum and welcome to Niner News. Now, yeah, everybody knows the big story. Jim Tomsula is named the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of people are pissed off. A lot of people are mad. A lot of people want to, just blame Jed York and say he's ruining the team and all this other stuff. But I wanted to wait a couple days to talk about this because I want to, I can be a very opinionated person. I love my San Francisco 49ers. I've been watching them since 1982. I'm a huge fan. I've seen them go through, a bad season here and there to having great seasons every year to disappointment in the championship games against Green Bay, Dallas, to winning Super Bowls, I've seen it all. I've seen the bad years from the 2000s, early 2000s, with all the different coaches and then Mike Singletary, Dennis Erickson of all people in the world. But, we're in good times, guys. I sat back and thought about it, and Jim Tomsula is, they say he's a yes guy. They said he's the yes man, and he's such and such. But you know what? Is that really a bad thing? Is that a bad thing to have continuity as your head coach? The guy's been there since what, 2007. He's a great defensive line coach. He's a good teacher. He's a good motivational coach. The players want to play for him. It seems like the players will run through a wall for the guy. He's a phenomenal, just rah-rah kind of guy, and I think that's what you need. You can see it. The Niners became a team that got, they sucked. 2010, they were horrible. 2011, insert Jim Harbaugh. He instills this winning culture in the team. They go 13-3. They make the championship game. We get robbed by the Giants on a fumble that I'm not going to talk about. Obviously, I had to throw that in there. But we don't go to the Super Bowl. The next year we go to the Super Bowl and we get robbed by the refs, and that's another conversation. But and now there's all this expectation. The Niners can go to the Super Bowl every year, it seems like. And last year we get beat by the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game, and it just seems like everything is gone bad, and it just seems like there's so much expectations, and it just started to seem like the team wasn't loose anymore. You know what I mean? The team wasn't playing loose. The team wasn't having fun. It was all about just business, which is fine, but you got to have some fun, You got to have some fun playing football. Let loose. It just seemed like everybody was so tightly wounded, and you could see it. Colin Kaepernick was tightly wounded. The defense sometimes got tightly wounded. The offense was just playing like as if, their jobs were on the line every 5 seconds. It was just, you could see it this year. This year was more evident than any other year. It was just more evident that it was just the unit was getting too tight, And what you want is you want to play a little loose. You want them to play as if, not that they don't care. It's more or less you want them to play football like, they're having fun again, like kids again. Let it loose, let it fly, let the ball fly. Make your reads. It's one thing to learn to win, which the Niners have obviously done that the last few years, but it's another thing to keep that up. And New England is the best team I could think of that, they've just continually won every year. And the reason why is because, their coach, and yes, he's a different guy from Jim Tomsula, but I think Jim Tomsula is what the Niners need right now. And you can tell it was evident. A lot of the players came forth and said, this is a great hire. He's a good coach. Now, the question I don't have a problem with Jim Tomsula because I think he's going to be a great head coach. What I have a problem with is we lost Vic Fangio. The defensive guy is out now. They kicked him out along with Ed Donatel, who was a secondary coach. And those two have done a tremendous job with those defenses. The secondary was hurt almost all last year, yet they still played well. They were like number 5 or number 3 in the league, against the pass. The defense, despite a crap ton of injuries, were still number 5 in the league, despite missing tons and tons of starters all year long and plugging in guys here and there, after injuries and people coming in and out of the lineup being hurt or concussed or just all kinds of injuries. Vic Fangio did an amazing job. So what I'm anxious to see is who's going to be the defensive coordinator, who's going to be the offensive coordinator, because offense I feel we need more of. The defense is great, but the offense in general just needs a complete change. Like, we just need to run some kind of different offense, some power running game offense, along with some passing and running by Kaepernick. We need to implement that. Like, that's what I feel we need. Not that 5 receiver spread option stuff that they were trying to run along. You know, it's occasional time that's okay to do, but you know, to do that constantly, like, I don't know what they were thinking. And then on top of that, just some of the weird play calls with one wide receiver on the field. Like, just, you know, if you're gonna run the ball, at least be, you know, at least let them know that you might pass it too. Like, don't let them just gear up for the run and then try to run it down their throats. I don't know. It's just a different. I don't know. We just needed I feel we need a different kind of offensive coordinator. And I've heard rumors from Kyle Shanahan to Rod Chadinsky to all different. I even heard one today about Mike Shanahan possibly not even being a head coach, obviously, because Jim Tomsula was named, but Mike Shanahan coming in and being the offensive coordinator again, like he did in 1994 when we won a Super Bowl. So I really like that idea, because I think Mike Shanahan's an amazing offensive coordinator. But I just think we need somebody to get in here, get us some good offense. I've even heard Mark Trestman, who's a brilliant offensive mind, and I would not mind him obviously being an offensive coordinator as well. So we'll see what happens. But for defense as well, we need somebody that blitzes. I know Vic Fangio was a great coach on defense, but we need blitzing. The Niners need to blitz more. It just seemed like when they did blitz, they caused so much havoc and got so many turnovers last year. It felt like they were a great team when they blitzed. So let's see what happens. But you know, this is a good thing, Niner fans. I know a lot of people are disappointed. I know a lot of people are pissed off because Harbaugh's gone. But you know, it just seemed like it was just such a, you know, everybody just stopped playing loose and everybody stopped being, you know, stopped having fun. It just became like it was like your duty, like you had, you know, there's so much pressure on them. I just think now they can let loose, they can have some fun again, win some games, and hopefully, you know, we can make another Super Bowl run. So we'll see what happens, but you know, don't sweat it, guys. You know, the Niners are a good team. That's a talented squad there. There's a lot of promise. There's a lot of up and comers on defense. They've drafted pretty well. I think it's going to be a good year. So the next time we talk, the next time I do a Niner News, I'm going to talk about the draft, probably most likely, you know, some possible people that we might, possible people to look at, possible people the Niners might look at, what I like, who I like, and hopefully, you know, we can you know, have a good draft. So keep your heads up high, Niner fans. It's gonna be a good year, all right? So for JT Magnum, Niner News, I'm out. Peace.